not play if he's not got 13 on him to this year. I don't know.
Or
I don't know
maybe
what's wrong with him.
interchange player. And we were talking about kind of one of those jack of all trades, masters of none players. The Roosters have the right type of that player, don't they, in Mitch Orbison, to come off the bench, comfortably slot in at centre, and play a nice role in that position, which you wouldn't. And he knows that he's not got a role other than to play in everyone else's role. And this is a guy who instead of kind of getting lost looking for action, actually just fits in seamlessly wherever he's put, because he knows his job is to learn almost every role on the pitch in case he has to play it.
Exactly. Yeah, he's one of those names first names on the you say the first name on the team sheet, but he's the first name on the subs bench, isn't
he? That's right. Yeah.
Right. I'll Mitch Orbison, and then I'll put him, and that'll basically do it. But yeah, no. I mean, there's a lot of superlatives you can say about the Roosters, and we've probably already said most of them. Carl Flanagan, as a 7, kind of big boots to fill, but quite frankly, he's doing a fantastic job there. Kind of, he knows his job. He's fulfilling his role. He's not, he knows where the skill players are.
He benefits and he's kind of the fact that Luke Keary can play both sorts of halfback roles, I think, now at the stage he's at in his career.
Yeah.
Which really helps a young half come alongside him.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, on the plus side for the Eels, I thought Gutherson was really good. It's a bit much to say he outplayed Teddy, because I don't think anyone really does that. But he was up there with him. He played really well.
He's really growing into a clear leadership role as well, isn't he, Gutherson?
Yeah. I mean, yet again, the Eels had a red hot 10-15 minutes, didn't they, and got themselves back into it. But
Jennings showed that he's, we were talking about maturing the fine wine style on the Morris side of things. Jennings is not losing anything, I don't think, at the moment. The last 3 weeks, it looks like how he's looked for 10 years.
It's weird, isn't it? Because they're both greying at the temples. But you can if you didn't look too closely, it could be 10 years earlier, couldn't it? Both of them. It's amazing, really. Watch out for them hormone replacements. I don't know, because they're both doing some unbelievable shit, both of them. But yeah.
Let's move on to Sunday then, and the Canberra Raiders 6, the Manly Seagulls 14. Plenty of representation for us in this one on the Raiders side of things. Elliot Whitehead scored their one try. He also had 44 tackles and was maybe one of their more impressive players. Hodgson had 47 tackles. Williams and Sutton also played in this one. I think for the Raiders, both Williams and Whiten really struggled to impose themselves on this game massively, which was a big part of why it didn't go their way. The Seagulls had to overcome some serious injury adversity, didn't they?
Yeah, they had, what was it, 2 players in the first 8 minutes off. I mean, the old Hank Scorpio, that was a sickening kind of hit when he went down. I hate it when players go down like that. They kind of, when they hit the ground with a thud and they just don't move, you just kind of, you fear the worst. But I think it was a shock rather than anything else. But yeah, obviously they'll be more bothered about the Tommy Turbo, won't they, in terms of longer term effects of that injury.
Yeah, and actually, if it was maybe him that got that injury in the first couple of minutes rather than Dylan Walker, for example, then maybe the Manly Seagulls wouldn't have won this game, because both sides, I thought, exhibited really good goal line defence, albeit up against both sides not showing great stuff in the halfbacks, and I say that from both sides of the pitch. But Tom Trbojevic, when he got opportunities, the real game breaker in this was Tom Trbojevic attacking at Curtis Scott, and Curtis Scott not being good enough and showing himself to probably be the weak link in this Raiders side, and Tom Trbojevic showing himself to be the one genuinely elite player on this field in this match, a match that included so many great, arguably world-class players. He was the one elite one on there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. There's something about overcoming adversity, though, that's kind of in the Sea Eagles DNA. It kind of, I think Des Hasler's very good at that. He's good at pulling the team together when their backs against the wall. So yeah, they hung on well here. But yeah, the Raiders were a bit blunt in attack. I wasn't impressed particularly with either, as you say, with either of the halves. So,
and I almost think every time I'm not impressed with either of the halves, it starts to make me ask questions of Josh Hodgson as well, because Josh Hodgson is so much the kind of man who calls things.
Yes.
In this game. And it didn't help that Hudson Young didn't know how to catch a ball when he came off the bench. But and I genuinely don't see it. Maybe it's bias or something, cherry and white spectacles or whatever. But I really don't see why they rate Emre Gula better than Ryan Sutton. I just don't see it.
Ryan Sutton has done nothing wrong whenever he's been on the pitch for the last kind of 18 months when he's been there. He's done nothing wrong at all. So, All I can think it is
occasionally you see Ryan Sutton not doing effort on effort. So probably it makes the fewer amount of attempts at marker tackles out of the forwards. So maybe that's what it is. That may be what it is, and he's building his fitness back up and stuff like that as well, because of his suspension and stuff. But that's all I can think it might be, really, because I don't see why Gula's a better player than Sutton with or without the ball, other than maybe he puts in a little bit more double efforts at marker. That's it. That's it. Oh my God, Corey Horsburgh's hit on who was the hit on that he put on? Was it on? It was on the young kid who came off the bench, weren't it? Jack Gazewski.
That's it. Jet ski, as some people call him.
Yeah.
Yes. That Horsburgh, he we'll go on. There's a few hits in the next game to talk about as well, isn't there? But yeah, no, there were some big hits this weekend. There were a few that were borderline shoulder charges to me, but everyone likes a bit of biff, don't they? So
yeah,
I think they got away with it.
So Whiten and Williams need to sort of get more out of themselves, and I'm not sure. One thing I would say is I didn't see them pass to each other at all during this game, whereas I did see more interplay, even with like Lachlan Croker coming off the bench and probably never played a game at half-back alongside Cherry Evans before, and there was a lot more. It seemed like they were more joined up, even though their execution wasn't great most of the time. But goal line defences were the main takeaway for both sides, probably. Both sides shouldn't worry about their place in the top 8 at all. Both sides should be thinking more about top 4 than top 8.
Yeah, I would say so. They'll be there or thereabouts.
The final game then, another game that I know I watched, but I forget that I watched. The Sharks versus the Bulldogs. It finished 20 points to 18 to the Sharks. They made heavy weather against one of the supposed whipping boys of the competition.
Yeah, but the Sharks aren't as good as they would like you to think.
Bryson Goodwin scoring a try on his return to the NRL.
It was a good kick from Chad Townsend as well, and you won't say that too often.
Sione Katoa scoring a hat trick, one of which was one of the most impossible pickups you've ever seen.
Yes.
He basically made Sean Johnson look good in this game.
Yeah, I just can't stand the Sharks. I don't know what it is. Every single one of them, other than Wade Graham, who I quite like, they can all get in the sea for me. But
one thing about the Sharks is they look the most poorly conditioned side in the competition right now. To me, almost all of them look overweight or a little bit down on fitness. So it kind of didn't surprise me that they were involved in a close game, and that it nearly slipped away from them. And actually, I really am gutted that ball hit Raymond Fatala Mariner's foot for that no try, because that was it. Jake Avarillo showed unbelievable speed in this game.
Yes, it was. It was good. It was
because I was well, and I can't remember ever cheering for the Bulldogs before. But And the other thing that annoyed me about the Sharks is I really couldn't work out who was playing at fullback. Was it Moylan or was it Dugan or was it both of them?
Well, it's. I think it's Moylan defensively, but then I think they switch around a bit when in attack because they want Moylan in the line, don't they, a bit more. But
of course, Moylan went off with concussion, didn't he, from one of those? Big hits.
Because he got belted by Hopoate. Or was it? No, it was
with Tenny Zalesniak.
With Tenny Zalesniak, that's it. He belted him into next week.
Yeah.
Like an absolute proper bell ringer. But to be, I'm not Moylan's biggest fan, but to his credit, he held onto the ball and he got up and played it, even though obviously he had to go for a HIA because,
the hit was so violent.
He'd absolutely been cleaned out. But yeah, it was. As you say, I'm disappointed for the Bulldogs because they're a team to me that they don't have a lot of quality in their team. But they seem to be trying, and they're getting a lot of effort out of their players, which I don't think you can necessarily say about every team out there. So they're a team that don't really have many, quality parts within it. There's probably 3 or 4 players that you'd look at and go, you're a kind of NRL quality player, to be frank.
Yeah, I mean, the sort of conundrum of Hopoate and Wateni Zalesniak, maybe you want to play them both at fullback, but you obviously can't. But they're 2 of the players, aren't they, that do stand out there. Kieran Foran once was, maybe isn't now. But that Adam Elliott showed some good signs in this game at loose forward. Another forward who wanted to do a bit of ball playing, set up a try from a kick.
Yes, he did. Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, Elliott's on that list of.
He wants to be Wade Graham, I think.
Yeah, no, he was good, and he's one of the bright spots for them. But yeah, it could be a long year for the Bulldogs, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Sharks. It should be a long year for anyone who watches them play. Right, the standings then. Do you want to take us through the standings, Alan?
Yep. So the Eels stay top on 10 points despite losing their unbeaten start. The Knights and Panthers come next on 9. Roosters lead a group of 4 on 8, ahead on points difference from the Raiders, Storm, Sea Eagles. Rabbitohs and West Tigers have 6 points from 6 games. They're followed by the Cowboys, Sharks, Dragons, Warriors and Broncos, all on 4. And the Bulldogs and Titans are holding everyone else up with just 1 win between them, or 1 win each, should I say.
Yeah, round 7 fixtures. The Panthers versus the Rabbitohs Thursday at 10:50. The Storm versus the Warriors Friday at 9 o'clock. Those are the 2 games that have moved venues from the previously slated ones. Roosters versus Dragons Friday at 10:55. Cowboys versus Knights Saturday at 6 a.m. Broncos versus Titans. Could be some points. Saturday 8:30 a.m. Might not be much defence. Eels versus Raiders Saturday 10:35. That's in the prime slot this week. Sea Eagles versus Sharks Sunday at 7:05. Don't get up early. And Bulldogs versus West Tigers Sunday at 9:30 a.m. So, which games stand out to you this week? Then, Alan, which ones are you looking forward to the most out of those?
I'm going to pick 2. I'm going to go Thursday night. I think Panthers, Rabbitohs, both teams playing well, and that should be a good one. Both teams will be pushing for that top 6. And the other one's the obvious choice of the Els versus the Raiders. I think that'll be a good one as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be looking outside of those ones either. It's weird, like the Cowboys versus the Knights, I'd normally expect that to be a non-watch because of the Cowboys should win that quite comfortably over a kind of boring Knights side, but I think what's actually going to happen is a boringly efficient Knights side are going to find it too hard to not just fall over the line against a woefully defensive setup Cowboys side. But Panthers versus Rabbitohs should be good. I think for me every week it's interesting seeing how the Rabbitohs forwards are stacking up against other sides, and the Panthers starting pack are playing so well at the moment that I think I really do want to see how the Rabbitohs play against them, but I also every week want to see how the team up against Murray deals with Murray as another loose forward who's really playing like a proper loose forward. And then the Eels versus the Raiders, I mean, I don't know if this could be a game where both sides play quite attractive stuff.